Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life. Today is the 7th and the last Sunday of Easter, and also the Sunday after Ascension Day, when Jesus was lifted up into heaven after appearing to his followers for 40 days. I'm going to be preaching today on the reading from the book of Acts, the first reading we heard. The book of Acts, which is also known as the Gospel of the Holy Spirit. After his suffering, Jesus showed himself alive to his apostles. He spoke to them as one would speak to little children, trying to comfort them. He tried to tell them that he had to go back to the Father so that the Holy Spirit, the Advocate, could come to them. The power of the Spirit would enable them to be Jesus' witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. But the apostles were confused because they had no idea what the Holy Spirit was. No idea what to imagine it to be. How could this mysterious Spirit comfort and sustain them more than their beloved Jesus? Jesus provides the answer. The Spirit, the Advocate, would speak to them the very words of Jesus himself. The Spirit would be with them in a way Jesus couldn't be. Wherever they went and witnessed for Jesus, the Advocate, therefore Jesus himself, would be with them, guiding them, teaching them. They would not be orphans, left to struggle on their own. The risen Christ, through the person of the Holy Spirit, would continue to travel with them, just as he travels with us today. Even when we are not aware of his presence, he is very much a part of our lives. He is with us to help us, to comfort and to guide us through whatever difficulties we may have in life. We have the assurance that we don't have to face life's challenges on our own. So now, as Jesus finishes speaking, he is suddenly lifted up in a cloud. His apostles are looking in disbelief, which of course is understandable. We can only imagine what was going through the minds of the apostles as they saw this supernatural event. Their beloved Jesus, their teacher, their friend, was disappearing before their very eyes. Yes, he told them there's going to be a Spirit is going to come, a Holy Spirit. They had no idea when or how or who this Holy Spirit would come to them. They had no idea at all, and yet they persevered. Their faith was amazing. And then to top it all off, they turn around, and lo and behold, next to them are two strange men in white robes. Now, I don't know about you, but if it were me, I think I would bolt and run at that point. But they didn't. What were these men doing there? What did they want? And why on earth were they asking this strange question? Well, maybe they were going to bring the Holy Spirit. Maybe it was them that was going to bring the Spirit to the apostles. Wow, maybe. Well, not to be so, but these two men in white robes, we can presume were angels. One of the mysteries, Jesus taking up in a cloud and then seeing white robed figures, is part of the mystery, the gospel. Well, the angels ask, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking up into heaven? Jesus will certainly come again the same way he left." Now, there are many ways to interpret this, but I believe, my interpretation, that the angels were telling them it's not important to know when Christ is going to come back. What's important is what is going to happen between these two events. How are you going to fill in that gap? Christ is risen, Christ will come again. What are you going to do in the interim? That's what's important. To me, it was a call to action, not just to the apostles, but for us today. Let's stop staring up at an empty sky and take responsibility for the faith that we profess to have. Let's refocus our gaze onto this earthly realm and use what Jesus taught us to take his message of healing and love and redemption to a world so much in need of hearing that message. As much in need today as it was centuries ago. Just like the apostles, we have everything we need in order to bring Jesus' saving grace to the world. Car's engine is warmed up and ready to go. All we have to do is jump into the driver's seat and follow God's GPS to wherever he wants to send us. So if I can squeeze through here, I have a story, of course. This is a story about a television. Years and years ago, I had a television. Well, I still have one, but that was an old one. And I had a problem. I had a situation. I turned the television on. Nothing happened. It was quite dead. So I got a little panicky, thinking, well, I'm going to miss my favorite show, Cops. Still is my favorite show. So I called the TV repairman, and he came out, and he looked at the TV, and then he went behind the TV. And a few seconds later, he came out holding this very strange object. It was long and kind of round, and it had two prongs at the end of it. It looked very much like a power cord. And he said in a very nice way, I think you forgot to plug it in. Oh, okay. So a lesson, a very expensive lesson, I might add, well learned, and that is, always stay plugged into your power source. And when we stay plugged in and energized by the Holy Spirit, we can do remarkable things. We can do phenomenal things, things that we never ever thought possible. It's when we get unplugged that we run into problems. When we get unplugged, then we become like, you know, the Energizer Bunny, right? We all know the Energizer Bunny, who has the wrong batteries. And then he begins to walk slower and slower, and he beats his little drum more slowly and more slowly, until finally he stops. When we run out of energy, we stop. And then we turn to God in distress, and our hair standing on end, our clothes in disarray, and we're sweating profusely, and we say, oh God, I'm sorry, I tried. I tried to do what you wanted. I really did. But I don't have the intellect, I don't have the wisdom, and I certainly don't have the energy. I just don't. And then God asks us this question. Did you remember to ask the Holy Spirit for help? Whoops. Well, I tell you, I was in such a hurry to do what you asked me to do, to get the job done,